friends, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about relationships, and on this channel I say that I blend the practical and the spiritual so that you can create a life that you love. And there are some kind of truths that I think people should consider when they're entering relationships that people just aren't really talking about. And so, if you're not aware of some of the truths, then you can kind of get yourself into a little bit of trouble. And so, I'm going to talk about just one of those truths today. So, relationships. You know, we all tend to want to be coupled with someone, whether male, female, male to male, or female to female. It just is part of our human existence to want to be coupled with someone. And there's a reason for that. Relationships are one of the main catalysts for our spiritual growth. So we have inside of us a desire to be in a relationship. That is kind of where we work out our humanness. If you are from the Christian discipline, you know that Christ has called us to love. How else can you work that out or learn how to be loving without the concept of being in a relationship? So it serves a dear purpose. But unfortunately, because we're not aware of some of the more spiritual, deeper truths, we're going about relationships in the wrong manner. And one of the things that I keep seeing, and we're going to talk about the male-female relationship today. I see all these women getting all cute, getting all dolled up, weaving hair and gluing on lashes one by one in hopes of becoming as beautiful as they can be so that they can attract a man. And that is a trap. I'm going to be honest with you. I know we've been conditioned that men want beautiful women. And I know from the time we were little bitty girls and we watched our mothers doing hair and doing lashes and all of that, it has become a significant part of being a woman. But when it comes to the dating process, it's more of a hindrance than a help. And let me tell you why. So, the male species, boy, I've been married for 29 years, and every day I am boggled by how different they can be and how unlike females that they think. And so they have been conditioned that part of being a man is having a woman. Nothing wrong with that. But collective consciousness has kind of trained them into thinking that they must have an attractive woman. That is a total fallacy. Anything external has nothing to do with our spiritual process, which is what a relationship is really about. And I did a video on that. You may want to go back and take a peek at that one. But anything external has nothing to do with our spiritual process, and it definitely has nothing to do with love or spiritual connection. That is a fallacy. And that has simply come about by what we call collective conditioning. And that means that everywhere men look, on the magazine covers, they see pictures and images of beautiful women. That is not reality. If that was reality, we wouldn't all be gluing on lashes and weaving hair and drawing on eyebrows and painting on lips and doing all the other things that we do as women. Things that have become a societal norm. All women aren't beautiful. Women just look like women, and men look like men. But they've been conditioned as they're growing up and they see the athletes and the stars. When I was a little kid, and boy, I'm going to take it back a long way. We would go to the movies and we would see Jim Brown and Superfly. And they always had beautiful women, just thin with hair and fur coats and the tiny waist. And so as we grew up watching that, and as the marketers put beautiful women everywhere, we became conditioned. The women are conditioned as well. We actually oftentimes have our self-worth tied up into the concept of attractiveness or being beautiful, and that is so broken. You are complete, dear one, exactly as God made you to be. Now, we are all on the pursuit of excellence, trying to become the best version of ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with a little enhancement here and there. I think it is a societal norm to do some enhancement. There's nothing wrong with that. What I'm talking about is the kind of longing or desire for something that is external, to the extent that it starts to kind of shape your psyche or affect your affect how you show up in the world. We'll just say it like that. And some people go to the extreme. I knew a person in my younger years that wore a wig, and she would never be seen without the wig. The doorbell rang. She panicked and she ran and she grabbed the wig. Like it was just a part of her self-concept. And so when you start tending towards that, that's where you can kind of get into trouble. Back to the men. As the marketers wanted to sell products, they put beautiful women everywhere. And as they put beautiful women everywhere, it created in men a desire for that. As they saw the movie stars, as they saw the athletes with the beautiful women. And when you have a lot of money, you can get beautiful women. How sad is that? That's a topic for another day. But as they saw it, they felt like the definition of being a man. I think about James Bond. When you think about all the iconic men that we've been exposed to throughout our lives, they typically had beautiful women or multiple women. So you have little boys that grow up, they're watching this over and over and over and over, and they become conditioned that the definition of a true man or a king or someone of grave importance has a beautiful woman. And it is strictly conditioning. It is not based in any sort of spiritual truth at all. It's a falsehood. So, here's where we get into trouble. As women, we're gluing on the lashes one by one, doing the hair, doing the makeup, painting on and tattooing the brows and all of that stuff. And don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with makeup. I wear makeup. I have on a little bit of something today. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking about to the extent that you're doing all of that falsity to attract a man, you're going to get into trouble. Okay, here's the nuts and bolts of what I want you to know. A man, when he goes after a mate, he has inside of him a natural, what's the word I'm looking for? There's something that lets him know almost immediately whether or not he's found someone that he can build a life with. He almost has a beacon, if you will. That's probably the word that I'm looking for. Or there's something that just, a radar. There's something that just lets him know that he has found the woman that he's supposed to settle down with, or at least give it a shot or give it a go. And that is a natural spiritual process. He walks into a room, there's a part of a man that can feel whether or not he wants to be in a relationship with a particular human being. We can call it God-given. We can call it biological. I'm not sure, but I know countless men, and I've spoke to many men over the years, and they all say within a very short period of time, some of them can do it on sight. They know almost instinctively whether or not someone is the woman for them. So here's what happens when you have on all of that falsity. He's going to circumvent his natural process of walking in a room and feeling which one of those women is the right choice for him in that moment. And here you come, beautiful as you can be, looking like a goddess. When he sees that, he defects from his natural instinctual process, and he falls back into the collective conditioning that says a real man has a beautiful woman. And so when you do that, you run the risk of luring him into a relationship with you strictly on something external. And he has circumvented his own natural process of choosing a mate. And why is that a problem? The natural process is the one that's more likely going to lead to the spiritual connection, because it's not rooted in superfluous things. It's not rooted in falsity. It's not rooted in something that's not real, right? When you come with the lashes and with the weave down to your butt and with the BBL and all of that, he gets fooled into thinking this is what I really want, because he falls back into that conditioned mindset that says the definition of a real man is that he has a beautiful woman. That's not love. And so what happens is, as women, we run the risk of forfeiting our chance at having a true and lasting and connected partnership. Now, I'm going to go a little bit out on a limb here, but have you ever noticed that some of your most beautiful women are unlucky in love? You think about your Halle Berrys. I think Elizabeth Taylor was married like 6 times. Those men are being attracted to those women because of how they look. That is not what you want. You want someone that is attracted to you for who you are, period. Without the lashes, without the hair, without the butt, maybe with a little tummy. You want someone that loves you in spite of all of that. That is a true and that is a lasting connection. Anything else is rooted and based in falsehood. You're going to get off on a bad start, and more times than not, the relationship just isn't going to last. Or you're going to attract the kind of man that is superficial like that. And if you have beauty today, what happens if you don't have it tomorrow? What happens if you gain a little weight? What happens if, God forbid, you're in an accident and you get a scar on your face or you lose an eye? What happens to your man that was attracted to you simply because of your beauty? That's not what you want. You want to go deeper than that. And so I'm not saying that a man can't love you if you have all of that and if you're beautiful. I'm definitely not saying that. But what I'm saying is, in order to build a great life, you have to be in control of your destiny. And you have to make the right choices. And so it behooves us to make sure that we are making the right choices and that we are getting into relationships with men for the right reasons. Because if you don't, it's just going to end. And that's not what we want. We all want to love. We all want to be loved. We all want something lasting. You don't want to get in a relationship with a guy that thinks you're beautiful and loves your glued in hair and your glued on lashes and your fake butt. Because sometimes men like that, they also like that on other people. And so you will find oftentimes when you have all of that, that now you've attracted a man that has a wandering eye. possibly even a cheater or someone that is unfaithful to you, because he is trying to build a relationship off of something that is superficial. Anybody can buy hair, anybody can buy lashes, and a lot of people can pay to have a BBL. That is not what you want. You want someone that sees you in your rawness, authentically, as your true self, and says, I choose her in spite of it. In spite of kinky hair, beads on the neck, in spite of a little tummy, I want her, period. That's the kind of relationship that you want. So, if you like hair, lashes, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But just make sure that that kind of stuff is not rooted in any type of dysfunction, that you aren't falling prey to the collective conditioning that I talked about that men are falling prey to oftentimes, that says being beautiful is everything, when it's not. You're a spirit, you're a soul. You were crafted by the Creator. He gave you what He gave you, and what He didn't give you, He didn't give you. Now, we live in a marvelous time with lots of variety, and we can choose other things. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that you're comfortable with who you are, and make sure you're choosing those things for fun, for life enhancement, and that's okay. Just make sure that you're not choosing those things because you feel some sort of deficit. Stand in your truth. That's where all your power is. Love yourself, be authentic, and find a man that loves you solely for you.